Manchester City have just one player left in the final week of the World Cup, and it's been a disappointing tournament for a lot of their players. Joao Cancelo and Ruben Dias show their disappointment after Portugal were knocked out of the World Cup. Before we continue, you're welcome to Wise BJ2 TV channel. The good news for Manchester City is that just one of their players remains on duty in Qatar for the final week of the World Cup, with Julian Alvarez ready to line up for Argentina against Croatia in Tuesday's semi-final. When 16 Blues headed off to the World Cup in mid-November, you would have expected more than just Alvarez to be left standing when FIFA prepared to hand out the medals, but they have fallen by the wayside, dramatically so over the weekend. That will be a boost to Pep Guardiola in terms of numbers, with everyone bar Alvarez likely to be returning to training by the middle of next week, although don't expect anybody knocked out recently to be involved against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. They should all be in contention to face Leeds United on December 28, however, and even if Alvarez isn't available, Erling Haaland should be back and firing on all cylinders, having regained full fitness during the mid-season break. So the issue that Guardiola may have feared that players wouldn't be back until Christmas and might not be available until January should be avoided. Instead, the challenge is likely to be a mental one. Speaking just before the break for the World Cup, Guardiola said the true impact of staging the tournament in the middle of the season might only reveal itself in the springtime. But the Catalan does have a challenge with his returning players, and that is that many of them will come back to club football carrying disappointment in their baggage. These are elite players, and maybe they will shake off the scars over the next week, while the prospect of chasing down Arsenal should motivate them on club duty. But the World Cup comes around once every 4 years, and if the tournament ends badly for you, it can take time to recover mentally. Normally that kind of impact isn't as obvious. Players have 3 or 4 weeks off in the summer. They can go away and recharge their batteries, and can even return and ease themselves into a new season. That isn't an option this time around. They will get around a week to 10 days off, and will then return to the heart of the domestic season, where any slip-up could be costly. Guardiola and his staff have to find a way to combat any mental fatigue and regret. Plenty of City's World Cup representatives will look back on their time in Qatar with a sense of frustration or of an opportunity missed. Nathan Ake and Ederson had the heartbreak of a penalty shootout defeat in the quarter-finals on Friday, while Kevin De Bruyne didn't get out of the groups with Belgium, ending up in a divided camp, for which he was at least partly responsible. Aymeric Laporte and Rodri started the tournament superbly with Spain, but their last 16 defeat to Morocco has to go down as an opportunity passed up, and their manager has since left. At least they qualified from their group, finishing ahead of Ilkay Gundogan's Germany, who missed out to Japan and went out at the group stage for the second World Cup in a row. Manuel Akanji's Switzerland were thrashed by Portugal in the last 16. But that stage was about par for them. Even if the manner of the defeat was hard to take, that victory propelled the Portugal of Ruben Dias, Joao Cancelo and Bernardo Silva into contention. But they flopped against Morocco on Saturday. A semi-final berth was there for the taking, and that defeat will sting. There will be plenty of regrets for Kyle Walker, John Stones, Calvin Phillips, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. There might not be as many regrets, but there will be an overwhelming sense of what if the World Cup had opened up invitingly for England and they were the better team against France. But fine margins went against them. They deserved to win on the night and have probably been the best team in the tournament, but once again they are coming home early. That will hurt for the next week or so, although not as much as it's hurting Harry Kane right now. There will be some disappointed footballers returning to work in Manchester over the next week or so. Guardiola will need to pick their chins up quickly. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. God bless.